Ever notice how the people who talk the most about changing their life are usually the ones who never do, and the ones who actually transform? You don't hear from them until it's already done. That's not a coincidence. There's a psychological reason why silence makes you stronger. The way you talk about your goals literally rewires your brain to fail. And most people are doing it every single day without realizing it. When you tell people about your goals, something weird happens in your brain. You get a rush of good feelings. People say, "That's amazing." Your brain releases dopamine. But here's the problem. Your brain just got the reward it was looking for. The validation, the recognition. So when is it time to actually do the work? Your brain says, "We already got what we needed. Why bother?" Once people see you as someone who's going to change, your brain stops needing to prove it. People who improve in silence skip this trap entirely. The moment you share your plans, you open the door to other people's opinions. Your friend says, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Your family says, "That sounds risky." Each comment plants a tiny seed of doubt in your mind. Your brain doesn't know the difference between useful advice and toxic doubt. It just hears uncertainty. People who work in silence don't deal with this. They keep their mental space clean. No outside noise, no borrowed fears. They move faster because nobody's slowing them down. When you work in silence, you're not trying to convince anyone. You're not performing. You're just becoming the person you want to be, one quiet day at a time. If you want to become a writer, you could tell everyone, "I'm writing a book," and then feel pressure every time someone asks about it. Or you could just write, every day, in silence. Until one day, you're not trying to be a writer. You just are one. Silent workers build their identity through action, not announcement. You know what happens when one crab tries to escape a bucket? The other crabs pull it back down. People do the same thing. Not because they're bad people, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. So they'll subtly discourage you. Don't you think you're being obsessive? You're changing. When you improve in silence, you avoid the crabs entirely. By the time people notice you've changed, it's already done. Some people don't want you to fail. They just don't want you to succeed more than them. Confidence doesn't come from what you say. It comes from what you've done. When you work in silence, you stack small wins every single day. You don't need to convince yourself it's working. You have evidence. You can see the progress. Silent improvers validate themselves. They know what they're capable of because they've already proven it to themselves. They don't need cheerleaders. They are their own proof. There's something magnetic about the transformation that happens quietly. Someone disappears for 6 months, stop posting, stops talking about their plans. Then they show up completely differently, fit, successful, transformed. That's more powerful than 1,000 motivational posts because everyone can talk, but very few people can actually show up differently. When you improve in silence, your results do all the talking. People respect what you've done more than what you said you'd do. Here's what it comes down to. People who improve their lives in silence understand something most people don't. Talking about change feels productive, but it's actually destructive. Every announcement is energy wasted. Every explanation is lost in focus. Silent improvers keep their energy for the work. They build their identity through action. They let their results do the talking. They don't need an audience to transform. They just need discipline, consistency, and the wisdom to keep their mouth shut until it's done. If this resonated with you, maybe it's time to stop posting about your goals and start working on them in private. Delete the announcement post. Turn off the comments and get to work when nobody's watching. Subscribe if you want more truths like this. See you in the next one.